Welcome to the lesson on polyatomic ions. So let's begin. First, what is a polyatomic ion? So a polyatomic ion is basically a covalent molecule or a covalent compound that can form an overall charge. A list of polyatomic ions can be found in your data booklet. Also notice that most polyatomic ions have a negative charge except for ammonium. So here's a list of some of the more common polyatomic ions. So ammonium is the only positive ion found here. The rest of them are all negative. Okay. So writing the formula of a compound with a polyatomic ion. So write the chemical formula for calcium chlorate. Step 1, identify each ion and its charge. So we look at the periodic table and we find Ca2+. Chlorate is not going to be found on the periodic table. Notice that it's not ending with IDE, so it's not a nonmetal. Most of the polyatomic ions end with ATE or ITE, like sulfite or chlorate. And so you have to look at the table of polyatomic ions to find chlorate. It's ClO3 1-. Then we draw a circle to represent one of each ion. Keep drawing circles until the charges are balanced. And this is really important. Treat the polyatomic ion as a single unit. So we don't break up ClO3 into chlorine and oxygen. We leave, there's two elements here, but we treat it like it's one unit, ClO3. The whole thing is one unit, ClO3. So we draw one of each, and then we balance the charges, and now they're balanced. So the ratio of each ion is 1 calcium to 2 ClO3. And then we write the chemical formula using the ratio and place brackets around the polyatomic ion. So it becomes Ca bracket ClO3 bracket subscript 2. Omit the brackets if only one polyatomic ion is present. Okay, try writing the chemical formula for scandium bicarbonate. And just pause the video here. Okay, so the answer is Sc bracket HCO3 bracket 3. If you got that correct, you're ready to move on. Note, all polyatomic ions except ammonium is written second in the formula. Ammonium is the only polyatomic ion that's written first. So for example, ammonium sulfide is ammonium plus sulfur. So it's NH4 plus and S2 minus. So the formula becomes NH4 2S. Writing compound names for ionic compounds containing polyatomic ions. When writing the compound name, you must 1. Write the name of the metal or ammonium first. Include Roman numerals if the metal is multivalent. 2. Write the name of the polyatomic ion. Do not change the ending of the polyatomic ion to IDE. Note, if the compound contains ammonium followed by a single non-metal element, then the ending is changed to IDE. So only if it's ammonium first, that's the only time you change the ending of the non-metal to IDE. So example, write the name for NaCH3COO. Na is sodium, and CH3COO, the first hint that you have that there is a polyatomic ion there is if you see more than 3 different elements. If there's more than 3 different elements, then there's something in there that must be a polyatomic ion. CH3COO is it. It's acetate. So the compound name becomes sodium acetate. Example 2, write the compound name for FeClO4 3. So iron is multivalent, so it could be Fe2 plus or Fe3 plus. This gives you an indication that you have to use Roman numerals here. Perchlorate is ClO4 1 minus. So we use the charge balancing method. We start with one iron, and question mark represents the charge. We don't know what the charge is yet. There's 3 perchlorates, and the charge on each one is 1 minus, so it's a total charge of 3 minus, which means the charge on that one atom of iron must be 3 plus. So it must be Fe3 plus, so the compound name is iron 3 perchlorate. Now try writing the compound name for the following compound. Just pause the video here. It's titanium 4 chromate. That concludes the presentation. You can move on to the assignment, or if you got those questions incorrect, you might want to go back over the presentation and ask Mr. Joel for extra help.